Alright, welcome folks to another new LP with the Mysterious JG. We are starting here on the VLC Media Player screen where I just used the menu music from RTKX to sync up my sound. As usual, I'm doing that thing where I pretend you don't know what video is coming, even though you obviously do because it's in the title of the video. I'm not going to spend too much time hemming and hawing before we go, but I will say this video will be kind of unusual for me because, at least for the first video of this LP, I'm going to post it right after I record it for a change. Because I'm actually on vacation. I'm someplace where I have good internet. I am actually right now in Japan. I've heard that Bobo the Vulture is coming to Japan too. What a coincidence, huh? Well, you know, maybe, if we're lucky, we'll run into each other while we're both here. That would be pretty cool. Otherwise, it's a heck of a coincidence we're both in Japan, folks. But anyway, while I'm here and I've got good internet, as odd as this might seem when I'm in this new country, first full day in the new country, I should be out doing stuff, but actually it's quite late now, and I don't really want to do late night stuff because I don't want to get myself in trouble, you know, lose my security clearance. So rather than going out and doing late night stuff, especially before Bobo gets here, not that I would go out and do late night stuff with Bobo of the variety that would lose me my clearance, but I figured I would take advantage of the chance to post something right as I record it. And also, because I use the internet that I've got while I'm here, to actually go on GOG, Good Old Games, Great Old Games, whatever it's called, download something that I've been meaning to play, and I was hoping I would be able to Let's Play. So let's try this. I'll do at least 1 or 2 videos. You guys can tell me if you think it's a cool game that you'd like to see more of. Although it's a real bitch to record, actually. Dungeon Keeper 2. I played this game years ago. I have a lot of good memories of this game. It's a lot of fun. It's a real-time strategy game, but from Bullfrog Productions. If you play the single-player campaign, it's really not particularly difficult. It's a lot of fun, though, but it's not that challenging. And if you play, I only played multiplayer once, and I got my ass handed to me. So I'm sure there's a lot of nuances where you could get really good at the game, but the basic playthrough of the campaign is just kind of fun and pretty easy. Well, at least if you're someone like me, if you like to take your time and build everything, the game doesn't put a lot of pressure on you to rush. Although it does sometimes. So we've got skeletons bursting through a wall, charging at a wizard. And there's Horny the Demon. That's actually his name, folks, Horny. Wizard's trying to book it. Dwarf just sealed his fate, except that he's gonna run. I don't remember exactly what year this game came out. I'm sure that you know, because it was probably on the titles. But these graphics were, at the time, they were nothing special for CGI, but they were still pretty fun. I like this guy with this, like, glowing sword of justice. Also, pardon me, I'm gonna have to blow my nose here real quick. Sorry about that, folks. Have to edit that out. I was totally not expecting that to happen. I hope you've been enjoying the awesome badass battle, which has just ended in victory for the forces of darkness. And here we are at the main game screen. In my test recordings, the text was flickering. There is nothing I can do about that. As a matter of fact, I have to use Camtasia Studio's Smart Zoom feature to zoom in and capture different parts of the recording area, because there's no one aspect ratio which actually works for every part of this game. And there's no aspect ratio at all I could get to work for the main game. So I'm recording full screen and then cropping down later. It's a real pain. But I think this game is worth it because I'd really like for you folks to get to see this game. Now, there's something called My Pet Dungeon mode. I've already unlocked all these and played them off screen to refamiliarize myself with the game. But basically, My Pet Dungeon is an even less pressure mode than the main story, because you get to build a dungeon. That's what this game is about. You build a dungeon, you stock it full of traps and monsters, and you get the enemies to attack you. Or enemies attack you, and you have to. And in the story mode, you have to defeat a fortress or group of good guys in every level. In My Pet Dungeon, you just make up your own dungeon, and then you get to decide when enemies will drop into it. I don't know if this was the first game that did that. Clearly not. This is Dungeon Keeper 2. I'm not sure if Dungeon Keeper was the first game to do that, but it's the first game I ever played like that, and I think this game has a lot of personality, so I really enjoy it. Instead, we're going to go into the single-player mode. My Pet Dungeon was just a good way to refamiliarize myself with the different rooms and different creatures. But single-player mode is where the actual story is. I played like the first 2 missions, but I'm going to start a new campaign. I'm going to reset the current campaign, and let's go. We start out at the Arc de Triomphe, I guess.
Smilesville. Welcome, Keeper. Before you lies a happy and carefree realm. The local champion, Lord Antonius, holds the first portal gem you require. Learn how to construct a dungeon, and build up your forces so that you can crush Lord Antonius and wipe the smile from his face.
Our narrator, whom I don't really know who it is, he's not the Horned Demon guy. The first time I played through the game, I was about 3/4 of the way through before I found out for certain that the Horned Demon guy is not our narrator, because eventually the Horned Demon guy becomes a creature you can use in battle, and he doesn't act anything like that, and the narrator explains to you how to use him and does not refer to it as, "This is how to control me." But the narrator did mention, and he's really what makes the game fun for me, is the narrator, but he did mention portal gems. Our mission in our main objective rather, in almost every mission, is to acquire a portal gem, because once we acquire all the portal gems, we get the unobtainium something, I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but you'll hear a lot of talk about portal gems. Basically, you're just out to defeat the good guys.
Behold, your dungeon heart. Protect it well, for if it is destroyed, you will be banished forever from this land. Here walks the goodly Lord Antonius. 'Tis he who holds the precious portal gem, but only when you've mustered strength sufficient should you challenge him and claim your prize. Lair. Hatchery.
Evil Hand, Cursor of Doom is one of my favorite cursors in any game.
First, there's money to be made. Click on the flashing seam of gold. Your imps will dig out the area you designate.
This first mission, as you have probably guessed by now, is a tutorial. And the objective of the game, if I haven't made it clear,
Well done.
is to
And now your faithful servant
build a dungeon.
imps will carry back your gold to Dungeon Heart. Once here, it can be spent. The golden scale atop the screen keeps track of your reserves.
And you're building a dungeon
Start indeed.
with monsters
More gold is required.
and stuff.
12,000 units should be mined.
Using the cursor to click land that I want my goblins to clear.
Red flowers float above your imps. These give measure to their health. Their skill acquired and reflect the simple thoughts within.
The simple thoughts within. As a general rule, you want to clear all the land you can because your imps will hop on it. You see how these little blocks of land are paved and have little red dots on them.
Ah, you've picked a creature up. To drop him, right-click anywhere on your land.
They go around claiming land for you, which gives it to you, and the more land you have, the faster your mana increases. Mana up here. That will all be explained eventually by the game tutorial, so there's probably not much point me explaining a lot of it. Although mana's never really explained that clearly. Your mana goes up slowly. As you see, it's increasing at a rate of 74, decreasing at a rate of 28. Your imps live off of mana. They're the only creatures that will be in your service in this game
Work, Keeper.
that don't work for
You are
gold.
ready to recruit more creatures to your cause. See? A portal near your dungeon heart, to where your imps must dig. They'll claim this portal to be yours. You'll see what beasts emerge.
And as he explained, you need gold to pay creatures, which is one of the reasons they've had me mining gold. But creatures, other than imps, come through the portals. You're summoning them from someplace. And they come to work for you, and they're the ones who can fight. Imps will fight to protect your dungeon if it's under attack, but they're worthless. They're the peasants in any
Your dungeon heart is full
worker
of
game.
No more than 16,000 can it hold.
I'm a poet, and do not know it. At this point, I can't really mine anymore. Later in the game, I will be able to mine more than this, because I will be able to build rooms, which allow me to hold more gold than this. But right now, there's really not much point in doing anything except what the tutorial tells me to do.
Through which new creatures enter your domain. Draw
Game... what the hell?
4.
It didn't do this... sorry. Behold your portal, the gate through which new creatures...
well.
something.
A goblin has entered your domain. On his own, he is a cowardly beast, but in a horde becomes a useful fighting force.
Drawn forth to use the rooms which you provide.
Your goblins need a lair where they shall sleep. Tag the flashing area to guide your imps to dig sufficient space.
I never had anything like that with the game minimizing itself when I was off screen. I don't know if it's the recorder doing this or if it's because I'm trying to download... basically, I'm trying to use Real Player to download a bunch of Let's Watch Red play Legend of Dragoon now while I've got internet that works. So I don't know which of those two things is causing this to suddenly not want to work properly, but during all the time I played today, a couple of hours really, when I just didn't... I was tired of walking around taking pictures and just decided to hang out for a while at the hotel. No problems whatsoever with crashing. I crashed at one time, and that's because I was fiddling around way too much with the menus. And I remember how unstable this game was back in the day. On its native operating system, this game crashed a lot, so I wasn't that surprised. But I got one crash in multiple hours. Now I've been recording a few minutes, but since I'm recording for YouTube, it didn't crash. I should be happy. It didn't make me restart the application and lose my progress, but you know what I'm talking about. So I've got one creature right now, a goblin. I can right-click to go to him. His job is doing nothing. There's really nothing he can do.
Now build. Click on the flashing tab to see the choice of rooms. Select the symbol of the bed. Then make a lair that's big enough to hold as many creatures as can be attracted through your portal. 3 by 5 will prove sufficient. Remember, such constructions cost you gold. Your lair is built. Now right-click to cancel building mode.
I don't know what he's talking about there, but I'm gonna go back.
Your goblins are rested, but hungry.
My goblin.
Dig out the flashing area and build a hatchery for food. Just as you built a lair for sleep.
Oh, I do have 2 goblins now, he's right. Job making a home. Oh. I don't know who's making that sound. Popeye has apparently entered my dungeon. There's not much you can do in the tutorial mission. There's a lot of different buildings you can do, a lot of variety to the dungeon you can design, but this very first tutorial mission, you really can't do a whole heck of a lot. There is one secret to be found. I will endeavor to find it. Basically, you just have to explore most of your area before you win the level, because if you don't find the secret before you win the level, you don't get to keep playing on this map. It just ends when you defeat the goodly Lord Antonius.
Click here. Select the symbol of the chick, then click over empty tiles of land you've claimed to build the hatchery. Good progress, Keeper. See? Your goblins are well rested in their lair, and their bellies full with juicy chicken flesh. Now keep watch, for very soon more goblins will arrive, and then your numbers will be strong enough to challenge Lord Antonius.
It's one of the coolest things about this game. Food is provided by a room that generates chickens, which your minions then swallow whole. So the three things you need to keep your minions going in the most basic level are a lair for them to sleep in,
I sense a breach.
food,
The
and
servants
gold.
of Antonius have broken through your walls, and you can move your gaze to see them now by right-clicking on the flashing blade.
Pick up all my goblins,
But worry not this time.
drop them all
For the
here.
only dwarves, who feeble as they are, pose little threat against your goblins.
You have to pick up and drop your enemies most of the time or they won't be in the right area to fight. As you can see,
The hapless enemy dwarfs are being crushed.
yeah.
Observe the white health flowers which appear above them. When they're near to death, you'll see that only one last petal shows.
And there are things you can do with wounded creatures in later levels, but right now all we can do is let them rot. Even letting them rot can be useful, but not at this point. Oh wait, there's no point in doing this. I'm not going to extend this thing. Normally I dig out as much area as I can, leave some walls to keep my, keep enemies from roaming wherever they want. But you want to clear out as much space as you can, so you're gaining mana quickly. In this beginning level, there's really no point extending things.
Your goblin force is large enough to challenge Lord Antonius for his portal gem.
Yep, true that.
Tunnel north and you will find your smug opponent skulking in his keep.
Skulking. At this point, I just want to be careful and make sure that I get everything that I can get out of here before I complete the level. Because there's one treasure that I would like to find. And there it is. Raises all your minions by 1 experience level. Not terribly important, but it's an optional extra.
I see you have discovered a magical item.
And if you don't get it, there will be shown secrets found 0 of 1 at the end of the level, and that always bothers me. Oh, but you can't bring it back to your... Never mind, I have to just click it and use it. Normally your imps can drag it back, but I believe they drag it back to a library, which is where magic is housed, because it's a magical item. But we can't build a library in this first mission, so let's just use it.
Your creatures have been blessed with experience.
Now I've got 8 of them, so that's pretty cool. My goblins are gonna get to work on that wall. Once it goes down, the enemy keep is right there.
You shall not taint Smilesville with your evil ways.
He speaks, the feeble Lord Antonius. See how the petals of his white health flower are of a special shape. This marks him down as your prime target. Take him out.
What are you guys doing going to bed? Get back here! Mob of goblins taking Asarius out.
Lord Antonius is fallen. The portal gem lies aside his helpless form, in wait for Horny to collect it.
This guy's teabagging him.
And comes he now.
It's like all the goblins are leaving except for this one goblin who I imagine is just teabagging his corpse. And here's Horny. Here's Horny! Oh, and the game minimized again. What is that about? I don't know. Sorry about that, folks. Hopefully that will not be a continuing thing, but neither will me having to break to blow my nose so that you're forced to watch hot demon on wizard action in silence. I do like the flies swarming around the corpse. Wow, it's a rainbow bright miracle.
Devise new spells in the library.
And a scream.
The training room lets creatures improve their combat skills.
Okay, press the space bar to go to the debriefing screen.
Hot lips.
Houlihan? This is an enemy type or a creature type we get later in the game. Apparently it has a lip-shaped piece of iron it had been holding in a fire. Although it's...
Well done, Keeper. You have successfully ended the life of Lord Antonius, and you have claimed your first portal gem as well. This is a most promising start.
Alright, folks, we're going to end it here. What I was going to say about that enemy that we saw who was like, oh, success. That's just a regular enemy type called Mistress. You can gather them the same way that you would gather up armies of warlocks or goblins or trolls and other things. So it's just a regular enemy. It's no more or less useful than anything else in the game. Personally, I like them because they have a good ranged attack, which means that if you've got a couple of guys in front of them to take the hits, to act as like, you know, tanks or meat shields or whatever you want to call them, they're really useful, and I tend to have a lot of them in my army. Not just for perverted reasons either, but they are just a regular enemy type, which is why I think you should know, however, that all of the advertising I saw for this game, all of it, and this game I think was made in the UK because I actually saw posters for it in the underground back when I spent a semester in the UK as an undergraduate. The game was relatively recent at that point, and there were posters for it everywhere. All of them featured the Mistress enemy. Didn't see a lot of the goblins, didn't see the warlocks, saw a lot of posters with the Mistress on them. Just saying. But anyway, level 1 took about 10 minutes. Killed about 0 enemy creatures. How's that? Heroes destroyed. Oh, okay, enemy creatures killed, because sometimes there are certain missions where you will fight other evil dungeon mastery guys. Heroes destroyed would be 3, because I guess 2 dwarves and the level boss, Lord Antonius, and blah 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 blah. So we're going to call it a video. That's going to be a short one. When we come back, we're going to do the next mission, which is still, you're basically still in tutorial mode. The game, like one mission at a time, grants you new rooms all the way up to the end. You're pretty much right at the end before you are allowed to do everything that the game has. But at this point, there's only a small fraction of what's out there that we can do. So it really is tutorial mode. We're going to continue with the tutorial next time, and I'm going to try to record one more video tonight, maybe 2. But I'm going to be actually able to post these as I record them, so that'll be kind of cool and different. Anyway, this is Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys for watching. Apologize that I have so many LPs going at once, but man, it's like the only thing that I can do for fun. Although now that I'm someplace with internet, maybe I should be watching other LPs. Well, since I'm on vacation, maybe I should be actually, sightseeing. I'll be doing that tomorrow. But I'll be playing more of this game the next time you get to see it. Thanks again for watching, folks. Let me know if you like this LP so far. If you guys really hate it, I might back off on it. But, I find this game a lot of fun. I hope you will too. Bye-bye.